Oh, okay. All right, is everything okay? Be doing? We don't have Rosa yet.
She
Does
may come
anybody?
later. It's 1 o'clock. It's 1 a.m. there.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
sometimes she doesn't get there.
Hi, Reba. Hi, baby. Look at that face. Cheeks.
Hi. Hi.
Joanne. Good. Welcome, welcome, Joanne, whenever you get in. And maybe we'll get Marvin. Reba, what's your baby's name?
Oh,
Grandbaby?
Aurelia, she's 2.
He's
So
2.
she's 2.
Okay. Are we
We have
going to
another
train
one
her
who's
to
a
Ziona is here?
month old.
Okay.
So I'm always running around.
The wild and crazy person. Hi, Ziona. How are you doing? Unmute.
Trying.
There you go.
It didn't,
So, how's your husband doing?
he's doing well. He still needs one more in under anesthesia procedure, and then the others will be outpatient, in the office. The one and done surgery, when the doctor got in there, he realized once he took a look at the anatomy, he couldn't do that surgery, unfortunately. No, we're still on the medical treadmill, but we will hopefully get off. I don't know when.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope.
Yeah. But he went to the store today by himself, which was
Okay.
good. I didn't have to drive, and he was able to lift when he needed to lift. He didn't get that much, so
But every little step is progress.
absolutely. He still wants me to go with him to the faraway grocery store on Sunday morning, but the close by one he felt comfortable going. So we're making some slow progress, hopefully.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
I love your background, Rabbi. That's beautiful.
So it's my brother's place. So I was designing a brochure for for my rabbinic thing, and I wanted to have a pathway kind of thing. What you can't see is there's a pathway. My head is right in the middle of it. And I really liked it. Well, my brother didn't want me to do it because he says, "Oh, it's not good enough quality." Da, 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 and he sent me all these other quote professional pictures, which I did not like at all. And of course, this is personal because it's his wonderful place in Annapolis, Edgewater, actually. And so I sent it to my printer with some verbiage, whatever, and the picture was labeled Micah's Path. Hi, Ellen's good to see you. So when the brochure came back to me, it said Micah's Path. And I said, you know what? I like it. So I may end up calling my whole rabbi thing Micah's Path. Which is sort of interesting. So we shall see, we shall see. Right now, I'm just trying to get through this move. I'm still unpacking boxes. So tired of it. It's hard to think about the rest of my life when I'm unpacking boxes and can't find what I need. It just drives me nuts. So. Oh, it's nice to slow down. Marvin, are you there? I'm not seeing you. And Haley, I'd love to see what you look like. Okay. We're good. We're good. Okay. Good to see you, Haley. You're muted. That's okay. All right. So we are going to go through our usual procedure and assign parts because this is our service. All right. So who would like to take the Baruch? Hands? Anybody?
I'll take it.
Okay, Ellen. Meaning Ellen with a Y.
Right.
Okay. Everlasting love. Ellen Friedman. Shema. Marvin or Susan? Where's Susan? There you are, Susan. Susan, do you want to do the Shema?
I can. Now I see Ziona had her hand up though. She can do it if she likes.
Ziana, you want to do the Shema?
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you. I won't fight you over it.
Should do it on a rotating basis or something. You shall love.
I
Rudolph?
see Rudolph.
Yes, I'll do it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's see here. Reb Nachman.
I can do that.
Okay. Prayer for Israel. Okay, Haley. The English interpretation of the Elenu.
I can do that.
Okay, Susan. Okay. And somewhere in there. We'll do a psalm for Thursday in pairs. Who would like to do that? Be part of the pairs for Psalm 104. Yes, no, maybe?
I'll do it.
Ellen Friedman hasn't had anything, but she had her hand raised at one point.
Okay, so how about if we do the two Ellens?
We're squared, Ellen.
Actually, you know, there are three of us. Because, you know, I spell my name R-U-T-H-E. The E is for Ellen.
Ah, wow. Okay, we're tripled.
That's why I relate so much to Ellen's, because I am one.
Ah.
At
It's
least
on
my
the
middle name.
website.
Not to be left out, but my middle name is Ruth.
Oh, double trouble. That's a story for another time. Double trouble. Okay. Well, I think maybe after we take a breath or two, we are ready to start. So. A nice way to start. Everlasting love.
Are we starting with that?
No, we're not.
Okay.
It's just where I was when I was working on my slide presentation. Because, you know, I change it every week. And I was going through it to find my typos. Okay. So, everybody, close your eyes. Put your feet on the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let go of all the stress of the day, of the week. Think about good things. Think about your health being healthy and the people around you who are close to you also finding good health. Ine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Ine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Ine ma tov, ine ma tov. La 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 la. Ine ma tov, ine ma tov. La 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 la. Ine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Ine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
I'm here, Rabbi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I had trouble unhooking my my video and my sound.
Okay, well, we've got you now.
Okay.
Marvin, did I give you a part or two?
No, you didn't. That's why. And I want to, you know, I'd be happy.
Well, I will sign you as we go along because there are a couple of things that are probably not assigned. So you will get to, I'll put you to work.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay. And by the way, the last thing I did today was to put in the transliteration of the Kaddish. So We're good. We're good. All right. V'hu rachum yichaper avon v'lo yashid. V'hirba lahashiva po v'lo ya'ir kol hamato. Adonai Hoshia HaMelech Ya'anenu Bayom Koreh. God, being merciful, grants atonement and does not destroy. God restrains wrath and refuses to let rage be all-consuming. Save us, Adonai. Answer us, O Sovereign, when we call. Ellen?
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Thank you. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, choshech mipnei or, choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to light. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma poteh sharim uvitmuna mishanei itim. We thank God who turns day into night, who makes the seasons one after the other, and takes care of us through all of that. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Amari Varavim. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Avta Torah u'mitzvot ukim mishpatim otanu lemadata. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu v'shochrenu uvkumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ihem hayenu Orech Yameinu Uvachem Nege Yomam Balala Ve'avah Tasir Mimenu Leolama Leolama Mima Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Everlasting Love, Helen Friedman.
Everlasting love, Adonai, you offered your people, teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments when we lie down and when we rise up. We will rejoice in your Torah forever.
Thank you. Sienna.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Or Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Thank you. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibat apam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'leftecha b'derech u'shokbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot ayadecha v'chayu letotafot b'neinecha uv'tavtam amezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. Rudolph?
And you shall love Adonai, your God, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words, which I command you on this day, shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. And thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou liest down.
Marvin.
And you shall bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thy eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon thy gates, that you may remember unto all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
That you may remember and do all of my commands, and behold, your God, This is the second half of the Ve'ahavta. Ve'yomer Adonai el Moshe le'mor daber el b'nei Yisrael ve'amarta aleichem ve'asu lechem tzitzit. We are commanded to look at our tzitzit and remember the 613 commandments that God gave us. And if we look at the tzitzit and remember the 613 commandments, we will have rain in our seasons. Adonai Elohechem Emet, for God is our God of truth. Emet ve'emunah kol zot b'kayam aleinu, ki hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'en zulato. We thank God as the Redeemer of our people Yisrael. And this leads us through various verses towards the Amidah. Umalchuto bratzon kiblu aleichem. Moshe uvenei Yisrael lechanu shira v'simcha rabba v'amru kulam mi chamocha balim Adonai mi chamocha nerdar b'kodesh norah tehilot hosef eleh malchutecha rovanecha bokei hayom Lifnei Moshe Zemli Anu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed V'ne'emar kipadat Adonai et Yaakov Ugelo miyad hazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. Rosalenu Sukkot Shlomecha Rosalenu Sukkot Shlomecha Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Rosalenu Sukkot Shalom. Some of the key words of the Hashkivenu, in which we thank God for his peace and his protection. He protects us at night from all those bad things, the darkness, the scorpions, the snakes, the marauders. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. V'shemor tzedkenu uvoenu l'chayim u'l'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Baruch atah Adonai shomer amo Yisrael le'ad. Baruch Adonai Bayom, Baruch Adonai Balayla, Baruch Adonai B'Shochvenu, Baruch Adonai B'Kumenu. This we're thanking God morning, night, and day for his for keeping our souls and our bodies and our minds and our hearts. Machut Shalchachi Leon. May Ad Timloch B'Chavod Ki ein lanu melech el ata Baruch atah Adonai HaMelech b'kavod Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam ba'ed ve'amasov. We come to the Chatzi Kaddish, the punctuation between the first part and the second part of our service. We're reminded of the holiness and sanctity of God. Yikadal Yikadash Rabba Be'amad Ivrachirute Yamlich Malchute Chayechon Uvyamechon Chayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagalah Bizman Kariv Vimru Amen Yehi Shemei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam u'lemei chamaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh Yitadar v'yitalel v'yitala Shemei dekudsha Brichu Le'ela min kol berchata V'shirata Tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiram be'alama v'imru Amen. Which brings us to the center part of our service, the Amidah, also known as the standing prayer, because we're supposed to stand when we say it. We're supposed to stand with our feet together and concentrating on the words, letting nothing interfere with our concentration. La 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 Adonai. La 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 Svatai Tiftach. La 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 Ufi Agid. Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, El Hagadol v'Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avod, V'Mei Goel Ibnei V'Nechem, L'man Shemo, V'Yachava. Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Metim, Prav Lahoshia. Mashiach HaRuach, Morid HaGashem. Mechakel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Barachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim V'Rofe Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Enatol Shanei Afar, Michamocha Balim Kurod, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiat Yeshua, Beneman Atalachayot Metim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMetim. Take a moment for silent prayer and meditation. Rosa.
Do not think that the words of prayer as you say them go up to God. It is not the words themselves that ascend, but the burning desire of your heart that rises like smoke to heaven. If your prayers consist only of words and letters and do not contain your heart's desire, how can it rise up to God?
Thank you. Haley.
Sorry, I'll unmute myself. Prayer for the state of Israel. We pray for the land of Israel and its people. May its borders know peace, its inhabitants know tranquility. And may the bonds of faith and fate which unite all Jews of all lands be a source of strength to Israel and to us all. God of all lands and ages, answer our constant prayer with a Zion once more aglow with light for us and for all the world. And let us say, Amen.
Thank you. Marvin, would you read this, please?
Our prayer for the captive, our family, the whole house of Israel, who are on distress or in captivity, who stand either in the sea or on dry land. May the Omnipresent have mercy on them and take them out from narrowness to expanse, from darkness to light, and from oppression to redemption, now swiftly and soon.
Thank you. And we all can say, Amen. And so we'll take a little short break for our Parsha of the week, which is Shemini, Leviticus 9, chapter 9:1 through chapter 11, verse 47. Susan, would you like to read this part? Yes, no, maybe. On the 8th day, Moses called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel. He said to Aaron, take a calf. Oh,
I'm sorry, I was muted.
okay. Okay, pick up where I was. He
let's
said
see.
to Aaron,
He said to Aaron, take a calf of the herd for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering without blemish, and bring them before Adonai. And speak to the Israelites, saying, take a he-goat for a sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, yearlings without blemish, for a burnt offering, and an ox and a ram for an offering of well-being to sacrifice before Adonai, and a meal offering with oil mixed in. For today Adonai will appear to you. Keep going. Moses and Aaron then went into the tent of meeting. When they came out, they blessed the people, and the presence of Adonai appeared to all people. Fire came forth from before Adonai and consumed the burnt offering and the fat parts on the altar. All the people saw and shouted and fell on their faces.
okay, thank you. And Rudolph, how would you like to read the next slide, please?
Chapter 10, 1. Now Aaron's sons Nadab and Abihu each took his fire pan, put fire in it, and laid incense on it, and they offered before Adonai alien fire, which had not been enjoined upon them. And fire came forth from Adonai and consumed them. Thus they died at the instance of Adonai. Torah as fire.
Okay. So, in a very short space, we have fire being used to consecrate the ordination of Aaron and his sons as priests. And then shortly thereafter, immediately thereafter, we have the story of Nadav and Abihu and their alien fire. And they were, God zapped them. So we see the power of fire. The power of fire is winding through all the parshiot of Leviticus so far. It can be constructive. It can be destructive. Can anybody give me an example of constructive fire?
Fire which is used to melt or purify gold, for example.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And evidently I didn't read it, but I read about it. Rashi, in one of his commentaries, detailed how much fire was used to build the Mishkan. So the Mishkan is a symbol of fire because there's so much used to build it, to construct it. Who can come up with something for destructive?
An arsonist.
You're muted or something, Ellen.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. What did you want to
I
say?
said an arsonist. An arsonist.
An arsonist is destructive. He uses fire for bad purposes. Okay, that's a good one. I guess when we get into some of the other books of the Tanakh, and we have the destruction of the temple and various things. So they are using fire destructively there. All right. And fire can be holy or sacred. This really struck me, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. Can somebody give me some examples of holy or sacred use for fire?
Lighting Sabbath candles.
No, thank you. All right, perfect. And of course, in our parsha and the previous parshiot, the fire is used for.
In Exodus, it it represented Adonai when he was walking before them as a flame.
Okay, right. Okay, very good. And of course, we've been talking a lot about sacrifices in the last couple of parshiot. So the fire is also and the sacred fire has to do with the sacrifices. So, as I was reading and preparing for this, the whole idea of sacred fire, I was reading one thing that said, yes, we are prohibited to light fire on Shabbat for constructive purposes. In other words, doing something that is in creation. We're prohibited and cooking and things like that. We are prohibited from lighting fire that could be destructive. But we are not prohibited to light fire for a sacred purpose. So in ancient times, they lit fire to give sacrifices on Shabbat. But now we don't do sacrifices. So what did you say, Marvin? Now what do we do that represents God's sacred fire?
Can I say something about lighting Sabbath candles?
Yes, you did. And that was the perfect answer. So we have a modern example of sacred fire that we use. We lost element, evidently. That we use to light our Shabbat candles. So sacred fire is not gone with the sacrifices. We just have a more modern version of it. And another interesting thing I read about was the Torah as divine fire. The idea that it's a combination of black fire and white fire. So what do you think that the black fire is? Someone?
Grieving.
Grieving, okay.
I was thinking it symbolized the black print.
Right, the print of that's on the Torah. And of course, the white fire is symbolized by the white parchment. So the black fire represents truth, emet, clear and indisputable, whereas the white fire represents chesed, loving kindness. The whole purpose of Torah is to manifest God's goodness in the world. So I thought that was sort of interesting. Now, okay, let's see here. So, two thoughts. Somebody read Rabbi A, please.
The death of Nadav and Avihu through divine ecstasy showed they were closer to God than Moses or Aaron because of their responsibilities. Moses or Aaron had to forego their personal spiritual state. Nadav and Ahivu did not.
Okay. Somebody read Rabbi B.
I will. Just a second. My computer's being weird. Nadav and Abihu were punished because they misused fire in a way that God had not commanded. They demonstrated their irresponsibility and their lack of readiness for their responsibilities as priests.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing first, just a sec. Well, let's see here. I can do it this way. All right, everybody. So let's take a vote. Which do you think? How many people agree with Rabbi A?
I do.
Okay, Ellen. Anybody else? So does everybody else agree with Rabbi B?
No, I think
No.
it's both. I think it's a bit of both.
You think it's a bit of both? Okay.
In the
Mhm.
sense that Aaron and Moses, they have the experience that comes with age. And Nadav and Avihu, they were young, maybe they thought they had more knowledge. And it turns out that they did not have enough experience. So I think both rabbis have a bit of the truth there.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else?
I agree with Rosa.
Okay. I like what she had to say too.
I
Anybody?
a while back I read a midrash that said that that was something like what Rabbi A said about that Nadav and Avihu were thinking, when will these old men die and let us take over? So that leads into what Rosa said. But then, you know, there's some theories about that they were drunk, or that they misused the fire in a way that God had not commanded. Maybe they weren't dressed properly, or they were just burning incense that they weren't at the time they weren't supposed to. We don't know. I think
Yeah.
we don't.
I would have to
Well-
disagree. I have a different, I think that in the Torah, in all the lines, every time it says, and it was holy, every posach says, and it is holy. And I think that through divine ecstasy, that's what I got out of it, is that they were so spiritually involved that they wanted to do it, even though they hadn't been told to do it. That's my take.
But the one thing that puzzles me about that idea is that God took them. He killed them. And not only did he kill them, but, you know, he set Aaron into mourning. I mean, and then Aaron is told he's not allowed to mourn openly. And what we don't read here is that they're told to carry the bodies out of the camp.
But aren't all bodies, the cemetery was never in the camp. It was always outside the camp. Is that true?
I'm not sure about that. But
I'm
it's
pretty
the way,
sure, well, at least later on, this time
Yeah.
it means later on it was always outside the city.
yeah.
At this time it may not have been, but
Yeah.
later on it always was. But this time I don't know. That I don't
People
know.
were put outside the camp as a punishment. So
Yeah, but when you
anyway,
go to a cemetery, I don't know if it was at that time. I can't get that from the reading. Is that when you went to a cemetery, even now we have to wash our hands because we're not clean anymore. We're impure.
mm,
So that is by taking them out of the camp, because at that point they're not pure.
Okay.
And it goes into then the red heifer. You go all the way through that too.
I know in modern Judaism, the cemetery and the synagogue have to be deeded separately. And this came up because we were forced to sell a synagogue that I belonged to because we didn't have any more money. And we were thankful that whoever set this up followed that rule, because the former building now belongs to some Seventh-day Adventist congregation, and the cemetery is deeded separately. So although it's adjacent and we have to use the same service road to get there, it's deeded separately, and we're allowed to go there through an easement that they allow us to go there to for yard sites, you know. And I don't know if there've been any funerals there, but if someone wants to go there for a yard site, they're allowed to go. And then my parents' former synagogue, the cemetery is several miles away in a different spot. And so I'm thankful about that rule.
I think that's
Yeah.
the way, I think that's the way ours is set up. I was reading what Reva put in her thing that neither one fits my view. I think they were overly enthusiastic because careless. I became careless and lack of experience, resulting in dangerous consequences.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. That was good.
I think that maybe it's a combination. Whoever said that it was a combination of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most accurate.
Rosa, I think I want to consult you before I start writing my my drush.
I just want to
You
say
always
one
have good
quick,
ideas.
quick thing. Yes, Rosa, you're brilliant. The thing about them being drunk comes up later, that it talks about Nadav and Avihu being smitten by God, or however it's worded, and then it says for the priests not to drink while they're
Right.
officiating. So that is where we get that they might be drunk from.
Yeah. So I wrote a midrash, and it starts all the way back in Exodus when they are in Egypt, and Nadav and Avihu are various curious, rambunctious kids. And so they think the plagues are really lots of fun, and they decide that they're going to sneak out during the last plague to see what was going on. You know, they don't know what's going to happen, but they want to, whatever it is, they want to see it. And Aaron comes and he grabs them by the collar and he drags them back and he saves their lives. But then they, they ultimately they end up in the war, and the two kids saw things that were not cool, and they had PTSD, and they started smoking and drinking funny things, and they were having some problems. So when they finally got to this point, they were imbibing probably more than they should have, and maybe smoking some funny stuff. And so that's basically what my midrash says. Anyway, but it's just too long for me to read it to you. Okay.
I did wonder whether they were spared something worse, because in a way it's a relatively quick way to go.
Yeah, it certainly was. They probably had no clue.
Yes, so compared to I don't know, a lung disease or something like that, we just don't know, do we?
No, we don't. Okay. Ellen and Ellen, let's read Psalm 81 for Thursday.
I'll sing joyously to God, our strength. Raise a shout for the God of Jacob. Take up the song, sound the cymbal, the melodious lyre and harp. Blow the horn on the new moon, on the full moon for our feast day. For it is a law for Israel, a ruling of the God of Jacob. He imposed it as a decree upon Joseph when he went forth from the land of Egypt. I heard a language that I knew not. Is this still part of it, or does Ellen read this? Ellen Friedman.
Yeah, Ellen Friedman.
He relieved his shoulder of the burden. His hands were freed from the basket. In distress you called, and I rescued you. I answered you from the secret place of thunder. I tested you at the waters of Meribah, Selah. Hear, my people, and I will admonish to you. I will admonish you, Israel, if you would but listen to me. Is it my turn still?
Go ahead.
You shall have no foreign God. You shall not bow to an alien God. I am Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Open your mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not listen to me. Israel would not obey me. So I let them go after their willful hearts, so they may follow their own devices.
If only my people would listen to me. If Israel would follow my paths, then would I subdue their enemies at once, strike their foes again and again. Those who hate the Lord will cower before him. Their doom shall be eternal. He fed them the finest wheat. I sated you with honey from the rock.
Thank you. And now we come to our second punctuation mark that separates the middle part from the last part, the Kaddish Shalom, the wholeness Kaddish. Yikada v'yikada shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra chirute, v'yamlich mahute b'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, b'gala u'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam, olam maya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramah v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitalev v'yitalash meid chudshah brichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiram v'yama v'yimru amen. Tikabal slotachon u'voltachon d'chol Yisrael, kodam avuchon div v'yishmaya v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah min Shemaya v'chayim, aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, uyaseh shalom, aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'yimru amen.
Oh, is that me? My turn?
Yes.
Yeah. Elena, let us adore the ever-living God, and and render praise unto God who spread out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the earth. You are our God, there is none else.
Vanaknu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei malach, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'nema, v'chaya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad. Okay, who would like to do this one?
May I read it?
Yes, please.
And all that has divided will merge, and compassion will be wedded to power. And then softness will come to a word that is harsh and unkind. And then both man and woman will be gentle, and both man and woman will be strong. And then no other person will be subject to another's will. And then all will be rich and free and varied. And then all the greed of some will give way to the needs of many. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick, and the weak, and the old. And then all will nourish the young. And then all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other and the earth. And then everyone will be called Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden once again.
Thank you. So we come to the part of our service where we remember those who are in need of our prayers for healing, who are sick of mind, body, or spirit. And so if you would please put your names in the chat. Susan is here. I have to go back and catch up here. So Susan has put King Charles III, Dorothy, Marlene, Jean, David, family of my cousin Arlene, who passed away this afternoon. I'm sorry to hear that. Joy Wagner, all those who are suffering physically, emotionally, and spiritually around the world. Rudolph says, my wife who is currently ill. Family friend Julie, all Sim Shalomers in need of refuach shlema, all hostages, LND and all other cancer patients and all in Israel who are now in need of peace and healing. All rabbis, all Sim Shalomers, all members of the JCHR Facebook group, and the UJA community who need healing. Bradley Mayer, Baruch, Ben Yitzhak, Yosef, those in the IDF, Lily, Violet, Lucky, Annie, and Rabbi. Is that Rabbi Shush? Arena, Rabbi
Obviously, we
Menachem
pray for her
Creditor.
as well, but I wanted to pray for Rabbi Creditor,
Okay.
especially.
All right, thank you. Ellen is remembering Brenda Bat Estelle, Martin, Ben Wynn, and our creditor, Rabbi Creditor. Ziona is remembering Pearl Bat Ethel, Chava Bat Elsa, Lona F., the survivors of the bridge collapse and the families of those lost, all affected by the earthquake in Taiwan, Eretz Yisrael, IDF, and the hostages, families of those lost to war and violence and political unrest, all Sim Shalomers in need of healing, along with their animals in need of healing. Brenda Bat Estelle, Martin Ben Wynn, and Rabbi Creditor. Pearl Bat Ethel, Chava Bat Elsa, Lona F. That's sort of weird. Okay. Okay. All rabbis, all Sim Shalomers, all members of the JCHR Facebook group.
I think you read that already.
Read that. Okay. I guess maybe I'm at the end and it's just, that's weird. Okay. All right.
Maybe we can add those who have no one to pray for them.
Yes, please. Marvin, do you have anybody you'd like to remember?
Going on, Nelson Raspoldo, my brother Howard Gruber, my cousin Myrna Sue Schimberg.
Okay. And you? Okay. V'hi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Elohei v'Elohei Avotenu shetish lach mechera rufuach shlema hashamayim refuach hanefesh refuach haguf lehole betoch sha'ar hole Yisrael. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill, are those we have named, all those we have in our hearts, all those we might have forgotten, and all those who have no one to remember them. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health and grant that their strength be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen. Mishabera avotenu mechor habracha nimotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalima, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And now we come to the part of our service where we remember people that we have lost in years past and in the recent weeks and days. So if you would put your names in the chat, we will read them. Okay, so Ellen Friedman is remembering Helene Goldenberg. Susan Bowers is remembering Arlene. Rosa is remembering Eva, Giovanna, Franz, Lucy, Rita, Tommy, Ben Stern, Clara Creditor, Laha Provisor, Ben and Betty Markov, Jill Bot Mary, Lidor Levy, and Sylvia King. I'm remembering Milton and B. Felsenfeld, my in-laws. All those who have no one to say Kaddish for them. Ziona is remembering Martin Luther King, those lost in the earthquake, those lost in the bridge collapse, those lost to war and other violence. Ellen Rose is remembering Jill Bot Mary, all those who have passed this week. Marvin Gruber is remembering Adelaide Gruen, George the cat.
Gruber, my mother.
Oh, your mother. Okay, thank you. Anyone else have anyone else that they would like to remember at this time? Okay. Yikadal v'yikadash shmei rabbah, be'alma dirach hirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol be'Yisrael, b'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Marvin? Yehei.
Hey Shmei Rabba Mavora, Ayolam Ulamei Amaya, Yiparach, V'yishtabach, V'yipar, V'yitraman, V'yitnaseh, V'yithada, V'yithalel, V'yithalal, Shmei Dekudisho Birako, La'ela, Kol Birachata, V'yishirata, Tushbahata, V'nemata da Arin, Dalma, V'imru Amen. Yehesh Shmei Rabba min Shemaya v'chaim oleinu v'yalko Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mumov uyaseh shalom aleinu v'yalko Yisrael v'imru amen.
Thank you. Yiratzon imrefi ve'yom libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai Bengali, Bengali, Bengali. Oh, say shalom, shalom, bimramav. Say shalom. Ve'al Israel, V'imru Amen. Ve'al Israel, V'imru Amen. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, our God, our rock, and our Redeemer. May the one who brings peace to his universe bring peace to all of us and all of the people of Israel. And let us say, Amen. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for participating. I greatly appreciate it. Haley, is this your first time coming? I don't think so. No, good. Well, please keep coming. We enjoy having you. It's our service.
Toda Rabba, Rabbi Ruthie. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. We'll
Shabbat
see you all
Shalom.
tomorrow. We'll see you all tomorrow. Y'all have a good day. Rudolph, special blessings for your wife.
Thank you.
Okay. Hopefully she'll be better soon. Yes? No?
It
Yes.
depends.
What?
She has some abdominal pains, but I don't want to say much about this.
Okay. All right.
We
Well,
are on the Zoom because it's public. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So, our very best wishes to her. I will put her on my refuach shlema list.
thank you.
When I say my prayers every day. So keep you all in mind. All of
We
you be
don't.
well. Yeah.
I was going to say we don't need to know in order to pray for her. We're
That's-
praying for
that's
her
true.
anyway.
Yep. Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Rosa. Thank you very much. No, we don't need to know what's the matter. We just hope for the very best and hopefully that she'll recover soon.
You're one of us, so by extension, your family and your loved ones are ours as
Our
well.
family. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We are family.
Your brothers and sisters and me.
I'll have to get out the words to the song and review it. We'll have to start ending with that song.
It's the Hinematov, basically, because it is, it says your brothers and sisters and me, and the Hinematov is how good it is when brothers and sisters are gathered together. So
right, absolutely,
we're on the right lines.
I will be traveling next week, but Rabbi Shusha will be with you, so I will be thinking of you, but I'll be on my feet, hopefully selling a few books. So,
Okay.
Good luck.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, maybe you can sell a couple of my books.
Marvin, you send me your books and I will find new homes for them.
I don't think
you never know.
And
You never know.
my future not yet published books.
Yeah.
And this just came for me today. I'd ordered I'm learning the can you say it?
Hatikva.
And the only versions I could find were online, but they're only like part of one. So I ordered this. It's actually for violin and piano, but I'll figure it out. I'll get it on my keyboard.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yay.
All right, y'all. It's time for us to say goodnight. Everybody go and
Laila tov,
have
boker
breakfast or
tov.
dinner or wherever, whatever you're going to be doing.
Laila
Because
tov.
Reba is early morning for Reba and Rosa and Rudolph. Well, it's time for you guys to take naps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Good
right.
night.
Thank
Keep well.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.